Oh man, so in this video we're going to do a TA update on KADENA and Algorand 2. Much requested coins here on this channel, so we're going to break through some of the key levels because both of them are showing weakness to the downside. So I need to show you some of the key levels of support and structures which we can see in the charts. We'll also have a brief look at Ethereum because we've got a fairly flat market today, but Ethereum is managing to be up 1.6%, but I've got a warning which I have to share with you on that one as well. Bitcoin currently down 0.23% as wider equity markets are down. We're going to take a quick look first at Algorand, and as you can see here on the 4-hourly chart, Algorand broke down a couple of candles ago, a handful of candles ago, from this nice upward trend. It was in a nice upward trend, higher lows, higher highs, and you can see once we downward channeled this way, you saw a big 4-hourly candle throwing us to the downside, and now we're trying to consolidate. You can see that the first pivot point is where we're holding right now. That is at 33 cents. If we lose this pivot point, if we're unable to get some momentum in that direction, then we'll be looking at the next level of support coming in at 32 cents here on Algorand. And then if not, then you'll be falling to the bottom of the wedge from a technical perspective, all the way down at 30 cents. If we zoom out slightly here on the 4-hourly, you will see the wider pattern that we're in. We're in a very long-term downtrend, and we finally got the breakout in mid-July. We rose up, we got rejected from a very important level which we have to monitor. This is the key level, right? So you can see when we initially broke out from the long-term trend from this green area here, where did we get rejected? 37 cents, and therefore it's no coincidence that on the second channel you get rejected from that same level. So now we know that that's a very important level for us here in terms of resistance. So you can plop in a line, right? You can go in and pop in a line and say, okay, that looks like a bit of horizontal resistance. You can then say, okay, that's our support, that's our support, that's our support. The worst case scenario is if we start heading back down to these levels, which is our 0% retracement, right? That's where we were at the lows. So this would equate to when Bitcoin was at 17,600, these were forming lows here on Algorand around, let me get you the exact number, there you go, 28 cents here on Algorand. Now, what am I expecting? Well, if you look at Algorand, I've made no qualms about the fact that this is a really good project. I mean, I've made various videos. I'll link some of them up if I can find them. If not, just search the channel. I'm very impressed with their transactions per second. Very impressed with the founding teams in terms of Sylvia Mikali. Great block finality. I mean, it's instant. The fact that they're a multi-layered blockchain. I mean, we've seen how Polygon Matic is doing really well in the layer 2 space, and yet Algorand's got a layer 2 built already in. I mean, the fact that it's pure proof of stake. If you've not watched my video from earlier on to do with Ethereum and some of the weaknesses around their validators, this selects your validators randomly. So this could go to any validator randomly, not necessarily who has the biggest stake. So that's huge as well. So many things that a lot of people don't know about Algorand, but I've also shared my qualms, right? I've made a video very publicly saying I will quit Algorand if they cannot sort these things out. So I'll link that video up as well so you guys can understand where my red lines are in terms of this project. But also the fact that they offset their carbon emissions, they're heavily involved in CBDCs. I mean, it's a great hedge in a portfolio, but at the same time, I can see why a lot of people are really frustrated by the lack of progress on this coin. And I think this is just going to be one of those coins which either you have conviction in and you dollar cost average in and you just stay quiet and wait, or you're just not going to do anything. I don't see this as being a coin that gradually is going to build up some hype over time. I think you're just going to hold it, and at one point it's going to start popping, and it's going to be one of those coins. Or you write it off as a loss in your portfolio. That's probably the best way to think about it in terms of Algorand. Now, I'm back in the tech for now. I've made clear what would need to happen for me to exit the position. But for now, I'm back in the tech. I really love the tech. It's just some of those marketing aspects which really, really need to improve. I mean, this is a great example, right? From the bottoms here, look how weak this breakout is. If I just zoom out here, let's just get zoomed back out again. Look at this from the long-term trend. Look at that breakout. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare that to Ethereum. Look at this. That is a proper V-shaped recovery. Look at the impulse to the upside. Now, I'm not expecting every coin to be like that, but you'll see certain coins, look at BNB, bounces back up with vengeance because it's got the attention, right? And other coins don't. They just move a bit more. Look at the gradient. Far less here on Cosmos Atom. Don't quite have that. NEARS will be very aggressive, right? Because it's got good momentum right now leading up to their NEAR conference. They're doing stuff. They're in the noise. People are talking about them. Creators can talk about them. Journalists can write articles about them because there's things to do. They're doing biz dev. They're introducing features. They're doing conferences. That all helps, right? You need to figure that piece out as well. And hopefully Algorand have that message loud and clear. Let's also take a look at KADENA. So KADENA has lost a really key area here. For those who aren't familiar, this is the layer 1 proof of work blockchain. So again, Another one which I think will start to come back into the narrative, particularly given some of the concerns I shared in the Ethereum video earlier on today around proof of stake, and another one which I think is one of those which will be slept on, and that's why I've put them together. I've put Algorand and KADENA on because they both have that kind of reputation where people feel like they're not doing enough in terms of the biz dev, and people could sleep on these projects. Excuse me. So what we now need to look at from a technical perspective is you can see the clear channel which we've been in. Bottom at $1.44, top here at $2.29. Of course, KADENA doesn't have that much history for us to use in terms of TA, but here on the daily chart, we can see those are the key levels. Now, what you can see is we've got rejected strongly from $2.29, and we fell back down. Unfortunately, we were not able to hold 185. That would have been really good. Look how key this level was in terms of us getting rejected, and we were unable to turn that into support. Little battles like this are really, really important from a technical perspective. You've got to win some of these battles. When you've worked so hard to break a level, it tried, and finally you do get through, the least you want is to retest it on the way back down and just hold. Even if you're going to go sideways for a bit, at least go sideways in the next channel up, not come back to this channel. So straight away here on KADENA, you finally bring back the risk back in of coming to the bottom here of $1.44, so that's got to be in play as well. If I bring out the weekly chart, what I do want to do, obviously there's very little data here. Let's just take out our Fibonacci retracement and look at what we can potentially achieve. I'm just going to go swing low to swing high up about there. And you can see your Fibonacci ratio golden pocket, 0.618 to 0.65, brings you to a point of about $5.51, $5.57. I think that's a comfortable level as things start to recover here on KADENA. Similarly for Algorand, if we do the same thing, a comfortable level is $1.68 to $1.75. I mean, that's just getting back to its golden ratio pocket. That's not even saying it's going to get to all-time highs. It's not going to say, you know, it's going to go beyond there. I mean, if you take the 1618 level mark, it says a $4 Algorand here on the Fibonacci extensions. So definitely comfortable risk to reward stances on some of these projects. They've been heavily battered, right? They've been heavily battered, as have many altcoins. And the challenge for us all right now is choosing where do we put our funds, because we've only got limited funds. We don't want to diversify ourselves in terms of not then having any significant money in any project. We've got to make sure we pick a couple of projects which we have high conviction in. And if either of these coins fall into that category for you, then you need to have a clear game plan of how you're going to accumulate. Make sure you've got the conviction and make sure you do not get flooded out. That's the key with altcoins. Altcoins are like little startups, right? Little startups with VC backing, and you've got to back them. And if you don't back them and you keep buying in and selling out, these are not mature institutions. This is not Tesla or Microsoft or Apple. These are little startups that chances are some of these fail and some of them will be very successful. That's why you need a balanced portfolio with a handful of coins which you think can do really well, and a couple of them will do amazing and surprise you. A couple will flunk and fail. A couple will just do all right and return you a good return on investment, and overall you will have a healthy portfolio. Other things to note right now in the market: US jobless claims came out today, falling to 250,000. In essence, what this means is people aren't claiming benefits at any faster rate in the US. In other words, the rate hikes are not having an effect on employers' need or want or desire to hire people. They're still hiring people, and for that reason the economy still seems really strong, which may make people think, and the markets think, that Jerome Powell may stick to 75 basis points. All that said, that's why we're seeing the equity market slightly red today. We're seeing Bitcoin slightly red as well, and it's put a slight halt today to the rally. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. One last thing for me to share with you before I leave you, and please make sure you go and watch my Ethereum video from earlier. And Ethereum is one of the few coins that's up today, right? Up 1.72%, nicely up. And the question is, why? What is going on? How are we getting this candle? And if we take a look here quickly at the TA, you can see here we are breaking down from our trend, right? We lost our trend line here, output trend. Ethereum's done really, really well relatively to other coins, obviously with everybody expecting the ETH 2.0 merger to come. And this is why we're facing a little bit of difficulty. Let's go to the weekly chart. Let's bring out our EMA ribbon, and you can see this is where we're facing resistance. We're running into our EMA ribbon literally as we speak, and it's no doubt we're going to face a bunch of resistance at this level into the EMA ribbon. If Ethereum can flip its weekly EMA ribbon, if it can get a close on a week above 2,300, that is going to be huge. I mean, we've been waiting for that on Bitcoin. When that happens on Bitcoin, you can see how far off Bitcoin is. This is the equivalent Bitcoin chart, and you can see Bitcoin Bitcoin's nowhere near even the first thread of its EMA ribbon, which sits at 28,000. So when Bitcoin flips its EMA ribbon, I'm feeling really positive for the next run up to all-time highs. I think we can then go test our all-time highs once we close above that 35,000 mark. So the fact that Ethereum's only like $500 away from flipping its EMA ribbon is really, really huge here. So natural that you're going to get a little bit of a rejection here from your EMA ribbon. That's probably what's giving it some of the downward pressure. If we also take a look at the daily Bollinger Band, let's just see if that gives us any data as well. Let's remove the EMA ribbon. Yeah, exactly. You can see you got rejected here from the top of your Bollinger Band, coming back to the middle. Now, as you can see on Ethereum, every time it's got rejected from the top of the Bollinger Band, it's managed to bounce from the red line, from the middle of the Bollinger Band. Look at that. Comes back down, bounces, comes back down. Are we going to get that same bounce now? This green candle suggests we're trying to, but if we lose it, we could be falling to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, okay? So that's something we have to keep an eye on here. So there you have it, guys. Quick update, TA on Algorand, on KADENA, and on Ethereum. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash on the like button and subscribe. If you want to trade any of these coins, you can do so on BYBIT or BitGet. Links in the description. Go claim your bonuses, support the channel at the same time, and trade safely. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you go and watch this video. It's the most important video I've made in a little while, and really does ask us the question of, are we achieving what we want to achieve in crypto? Huge warning for anybody, not just in the Ethereum space. Thanks for watching. See you in